It's a little windy out here today, and I am bored. Man, took a little break from work, thought I'd come out here to the lake, and yeah, I'm just having a boring day at work. I don't know if you've ever had that, but some people didn't come in today. They were supposed to, we're working on a project, me and a few other people, and they couldn't come in today, but I didn't want to miss this day, so yeah. But man, it's boring when you're at work by yourself, like there's no one else there. Man, it's boring. I'm used to, it's better to have people to talk to, you know what I mean? So when I'm at work and there's other people there, it's, I don't know, 100% better. You can talk, joke around a bit, whatever, and just having people there, even when, you're all focused on your work, everybody's focused on their work, just having other people there, it's just nice. So now, today, no one's there except me. I'm like, man, this is crazy boring. So, yeah, like I said, I'm on a break now. And I can kind of set my own schedule, so I'm taking a little bit of an extended break. Had a little bit to eat, just like a snack, really, nothing. Didn't have a meal or anything, just a little snack. And thought I'd come over here for a little bit, enjoy the lake, because I love being here. Whoa, check out all those birds. I don't know if you can see them off to the right. Bunch of these white birds going into the water and coming up in the air. They're eating something. They're going down on that water. They're swooping down there and catching something. I don't know if it's little fish or some kind of bugs that are, right on the surface of the water. I don't know. Wow, that's cool. There's a bunch of them. They're on the water now. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. They just left the water. Now they're coming, they're flying out of the water. That is really, now they're going back down, it looks like. Let's see. Nah, they're just flying around. Probably they got that bird view over the water. They're probably looking for other things to eat. That was neat. So anyway, yeah, this is a place I really like to come to. You've probably seen a few other videos that I have where I'm out here doing various things. I don't know if I've made any videos of me hiking around out here, but I think I've made a few videos of me just being out here and, looking around and walking around. But those mountains directly ahead of us that you see there, there's a guy there on the left doing some photography. That's cool. Man, I bet he's getting some good pictures. He was over here earlier. That's neat. But anyway, those mountains over there, I've gone hiking over there, and man, it is so great. It is so cool. It's so peaceful, and it's just wonderful. Now, I'm not saying I've hiked up to the top of those mountains or way in there like that. That would be pretty neat to see it, but that's a heck of a hike. I don't know about that one. But just going, the road kind of curves around. If you cross this bridge, it curves around to the left, and it goes between the lower mountains that you see, the very first range of mountains that are lower. It curves around to the left and there, and this road is closed, so there's no traffic, no cars, and you're just kind of in this canyon between the two sides of the mountain once you curve around the left there, and then there's trails off in there and just open areas. You can go in there, they're kind of in between the mountains, and there's I don't know, all sorts of neat stuff. You'll see just neat things. I think I made a video over there. There's a bunch of butterflies on these bushes, and one bush had some bees on it, but that was pretty cool. And then yeah, so it's just really nice going hiking over there, just walking around over there on the trails and just that area. It's really cool. So I like coming here. And then going down, you can't really see it, but off to the right, you can kind of go down that little embankment. I wouldn't do it right here to the right. It's not picking it up, but because it's pretty steep there. But a little, kind of where that guy is doing the photography. If you go a little further, you can kind of go out to the right there a little bit, maybe a little further past where he's at. You can hike down to the water there. It's not really hiking, but you can get down to the water there. It's not as steep of an embankment there, and it's really neat down there. You'll see fish down there. I've gone down there by the shore, and you see fish, and just being down there by the water is cool because I'm a water person. I love water. I love the ocean. I love lakes. I love rivers. All of it. So that is one of the great things about this place. And this lake, it's much bigger than what you see right here. When you go over to the right, it opens up and expands much bigger than what you see right here. So it is really impressive. Just like, the mountains ahead of us. And there's more mountains past these. It's really an impressive area. Now, I grew up in a forested area. So, like, these mountains look barren. They have some bushes and shrubbery, but no, it's not forested. There's not trees. It's still pretty amazing and dramatic looking. But I grew up in near some heavily wooded and forested mountains, and that is amazing to be in an area like that as well. And I, grew up hiking around those mountains, riding my bike on trails in those mountains, and fishing in the rivers and stuff like that, and the lakes. So that's a lot of fun. And it's just neat to just be around nature, and just, man, I've lived in major cities in the U.S. I've lived in a couple major U.S. cities. And for me, in my opinion, man, you're missing out. If you're living in a city instead of living in a smaller area that has mountains and wooded forest nearby, or you're actually living in that, on a mountain or in a forest, that is 100% a better life. You're really missing out if you're living in some sort of a city, even a medium-sized city. I've lived in a couple major U.S. cities, actually 3. One of them very briefly, where I was born, so I don't know if that one really counts. I guess it counts, but I don't have much recollection of it. But two major cities, and it's just not the same life. So much going on there in cities. So, it's all the stress. It's everything you hear about. The stress, the traffic, the crime, the violence, the drugs, all that sort of stuff. And, people say, oh, yeah, but, you can make a better living in a city and, get a better job and all this and that. And there's more things to do. You can, I suppose, yes and no. It depends on what the trade-offs are. And to me, the trade-offs aren't worth it. I don't want to live there to make more money, but be surrounded by, misery, essentially, and traffic. Like, to me, traffic is just terrible. And I am not one to want to be in traffic. So it's just not for me. And you can make a good living, actually. It depends on what you're doing, but in today's day and age, with the internet, laptops, and all sorts of business that can be done online, man, you can make a good living anywhere. To me, that's, it depends on what you're doing, I suppose, to a certain degree, but yeah, if you own a business, or even if you work, some people work remotely, but if you own a business, a lot of businesses in today's day and age can be done from anywhere. And even if you have to go physically to your work location every day, you can still make good money in a smaller community, make a good living, and it's a better life. You've got far less traffic, far less crime, far less of all the problems that come along with the city, and you can make a good living. And it's a better place to raise kids, raise a family, far less stress. I know when I moved out of a city that I lived in for several years. Several years I lived in the city. When I moved out of there, I got healthier. And I thought I was reasonably healthy there, but I got healthier. And I think what it was, or what it is that did that, is removing myself from the stress of being there. And like sometimes you don't even realize how much stress is upon you or in your life because you get used to it. So when you're in a city and you're just surrounded by all this stress, it builds on itself. Like it builds and builds and builds and builds, and you become accustomed to it and used to it, and it's very unhealthy. Well, I left that city, which I'm tremendously grateful for, and I got healthier. I noticed it, and I have far less stress in my life. I'm much happier. I have far less stress, and I mean, I was happy there, but you know, and I noticed over time, I'm like, wow, I'm healthier. I noticed certain things about me that were better, and I'm like, hey, I remember it used to be, you know, this way, and now it's like this. What happened? I didn't really change anything. I'm just living a better life, a less stressful life. And that alone has made a huge impact. I mean, in my life in a positive way. And I mean, I don't have any vices. It's not like I quit doing something. I don't smoke or use drugs or anything like that. So it's not like I gave up smoking or drugs or anything, because I've never done any of that stuff. That's not a part of my life. It was just removing myself from a highly stressful lifestyle in a city and living in a smaller community that's surrounded by this kind of stuff and nature and lakes and all these great things. And so that stress left, and when that stress left, I became healthier. And hey, you know, there's probably, I'm sure there's doctors that can understand it more than me and explain it better than me, but I just know the results, and that's what I'm glad about. And I didn't even know what happened, but I'm just living it. And I'm like, wow, I'm healthier. This is great. So this is the guy that was doing the photography. He moved his car up here. He was parked a ways back there behind me, and he moved up here. Got his back door open. I don't know. He's got a dog back there that's coming out, or a person. Oh, he's got somebody with him. Well, that's cool. Maybe it's his wife or something. That's cool. Get her out of the car, take her out, walk her around down by the lake. Oh, man. It's nice seeing the flag blowing in the wind like that. I don't know if you can see the United States flag there on the left. That's how windy it is today. It's really windy out here. That's something, though. I've never lived in a place that has as much wind as this place. It's a trip. I've never even given it any thought. I don't plan on staying here forever. I'm just here for now. But I know one of the things, when you're going to move somewhere, you look at certain things about that place. One of the things I need to look at is, does it have a lot of wind? Because I do not want to live in a windy place again. I mean, I'm pretty shocked. Sure, a windy day here and there, okay, that's normal, that's fine. But this place will be windy like this for months. And it's like, what the heck is going on here? Why is it so windy? Now, who would explain that? I don't know. A meteorologist? I don't know if a geologist would be a meteorologist, right? A weather person, right? Because if you go, I don't know, probably 20 miles west of here or 20 miles east of here, it's not windy like this. But it's something about this area right here. And I've heard people in this town say, oh, it's because of the river. Well, I've lived by rivers. In fact, I grew up by a river, a couple rivers. And it wasn't windy like this. So I don't think that the wind is because of the river or a river. And I don't think it's because of this lake, because I grew up around a lake and it wasn't windy. So it's something else. I don't know what it is. But yeah, interesting. Well, that's nice. That's probably his wife over there, the photographer. They're over on the left there. Looks like they're from out of state, judging by their plate. So, plate on the car. That's nice. Coming here and checking it out. Maybe they're on. Oh, yeah, probably just on a little vacation. It's Thanksgiving week, so yeah, that would make sense. Excuse me. Took a little sip of my drink there. I shouldn't be drinking this. It's an energy drink. They're not healthy, right? I drink coffee though. But I don't know, every now and then I'll get one of these things, and I was just talking about how much healthier I've been. I am now, right? And here I am drinking this stuff that's not healthy. But I love coffee, man. Any of you like coffee? I know I've gotten a few messages when I've been drinking coffee in other videos, and people have asked me what kind of coffee I'm drinking. Yeah, I like to actually make my coffee at home. Home brewed coffee. Every now and then I'll go out somewhere and get some. Get a cup of coffee somewhere, whatever, Starbucks or something like that. Or if I'm at a restaurant, I'll get a cup of coffee. But I don't eat out very often. But I just, I don't know. I prefer to cook at home, and I try to watch my spending. And I don't go to Starbucks very often. For the same reason, I don't like to. I just try to watch my spending. I don't even think I go to Starbucks once a month. I don't know. I can tell you what I get though. At Starbucks, I like to get a blonde roast, but they hardly ever have it ready, and they have to do a pour over. I used to wait for the pour over, but now I'm like, okay, whatever. And I don't even really ask anymore, because every single time I've gone there and said, hey, do you have blonde roast ready? Oh no, we can do a pour over for you. And I used to wait, so I'm just like, whatever. I didn't mind, but now I'm like, I don't know why they don't have it. It's a really good coffee. I think if they pushed it more and got it out there for people to drink more people would like it and really want it. But I just get, typically now, I get a Grande Pike Place. Grande's their medium, right? So I get a Grande Pike Place, Grande Pike, sometimes an Americano, but typically I'll get a Grande Pike. No sugar, no kind of sweeteners or anything. Usually I drink my coffee black, or sometimes I'll get a little cream in it. Just depends, I don't know. I don't want to say it depends on how I feel. It just depends on what I want at that moment, I suppose. But a hot coffee, I drink hot coffee. Those other ones are good. The iced coffees, the frappuccinos, all this stuff. That stuff's good. But it's just not what I get. I just get a nice hot cup of coffee. And the Pike's good. Grande's a good size. Black is good. Good coffee. Or a little cream. But this is rare. I mean, it's not like I'm going to Starbucks every day or even every week, or literally not even once a month, I don't think. I'm trying to... The last time I don't know, I probably go to Starbucks like once every 2 months, maybe. I'll go to Starbucks, it's not like planned out, like, it's 2 months, I can go. It's just seems to be somewhere around that time frame. Sometimes it might be once in 3 months. I'll just pop in there and get a cup of coffee, if I'm out doing something, want to get a cup of coffee. But yeah, and that's just nothing wrong with Starbucks or restaurants. It's just, mainly I try to watch my spending, and two, as far as the food, I like to cook at home. I like to make a meal, like make my own food. It's just kind of nice to cook something, have it on a plate, sit down at your table and just eat like a nice meal that you made yourself, food you bought. And that's just me. Same with my coffee. I like to brew my own coffee at home. I have at least 1 cup of coffee in the morning. Sometimes I'll have 2. Yeah, just me. It's a lot cheaper that way. So it's much cheaper. I mean, think about, some people go to places like Starbucks or other places, every day. Almost every day, and some people every day. I mean, I just can't imagine. But think of that cost. Like, I don't remember how much it costs. I think it's like, for a grande hot coffee, I think is like $3.55. I think. So imagine doing that almost every day, or even every day. Imagine if you do that. Okay, if you did it every day, so you could figure that price, $3.35, thereabout, somewhere around there, times 30, right? Just, you know, roughly. So let's say 30 days in a month, you do that every day. Look how much money that is. It's over $100 right there. And just say you don't do it every day. Say you go 5 days a week. So 20 times $3.55, and that's if you get the kind of coffee that I get, and most people don't get that. Most people get, the nicer coffees, with the added this and that. I'm not knocking it. Those are great too, but I don't know what those run. I don't know why. I think they're like 5 something. So imagine that times 20 days a month. You're doing that. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. You could buy coffee beans, or ground coffee, whichever. Take it home and make your own coffee. And that bag of coffee or container of coffee that you buy at the store, or you order online, or however you choose to get it, is way cheaper than how much you would spend in a month buying those types of coffees, right? And also think of all those calories. And those aren't good calories. Like, think of all that sugar. Sugar is just straight up bad for you, right? So think about all the sugar and the sugar calories that you're consuming just about every day. Whew, not good. Not good, my friends. Highly recommend not doing that. But, hey, who am I? I'm just saying it's not good. I would suggest not doing it. I don't do it. And I love coffee. But I don't love spending money. And I don't love spending money on coffee like that. I just, buy my own and take it home and make it. Now, I'm not some coffee expert by any means. I know probably a little more than the average about coffee, but it's not like I'm, a coffee expert. It'd be cool though. I mean, coffee's great, so it's cool to know a lot about it. But I've seen some people, man, these guys know all sorts of intricate details about coffee, from the place it grew, the soil it grew in, everything about the coffee bean or coffee seed, as it's actually is, I believe. And to me, all that stuff is interesting. I just don't have the time to commit to learning all that. But I've seen some of these videos, or read some articles of these people who know all this stuff, and I'm just like, wow, man, that is really impressive and fascinating, in fact. And you go, man, keep going. That's awesome. That's their thing. I just, I don't have time for that. I have, other obligations in life. But a good cup of coffee is great in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes with friends. There's just so many good times and reasons to have a nice cup of coffee. So there's a place around here called, what's it called? The Human Bean. I think I've gone there. I know I've gone there twice, maybe 3 times. And they give you this little coffee bean. I think it's dipped in chocolate, actually. They like give you that on top of your cup, if you go through like the drive-through or whatever. And I'm not a drive-through person, but that particular coffee place is just the drive-through. I think they have a walk-up window now, but I don't know. I've never done that. But anyway, it's not a place you go in. So the reason what I'm getting at is it's going to have a to-go cup and a lid on it, okay? So they put a coffee bean, I'm pretty sure it's dipped in chocolate, this chocolate-dipped coffee bean on your cup. That's kind of a neat little touch, So you drink your coffee and eat that little coffee bean. But that coffee bean, it seems a little hollowed out. I don't know. Maybe it's the shell of the coffee seed. Like there's like an outer skin on the coffee seed or coffee bean, as most people know it. Kind of like peas in a pod. I don't know if I'm sure some of you have seen the pod that has peas in it. So it's kind of like that, it looks like, with these coffee beans or seeds. So I think, I'm wondering if it's the outer shell, like a skin like that, or a pod that they dipped the chocolate in, because it doesn't seem like there's much of a coffee bean or seed in there. But hey, it's a nice little touch. I like it. I always appreciate it. And I like a little chocolate every now and then too, so, you know. Oh, but man, it sounds like I don't eat very healthy, right? Coffee, chocolate, a little bit of chocolate every now and then is probably not bad. Probably good for you, actually. Depends on the type. Dark chocolate's supposed to be better. Better for your mood, actually, within moderation, of course. I mean, I would not suggest eating it every day. If your mood's that, I almost said messed up, I don't want to be insulting. If your mood situation is that, in that dire of a situation, I would say go to a counselor or a therapist. Don't rely on dark chocolate. Because the dark chocolate is, I don't think it's designed to help that much. Go to a therapist and probably have a little dark chocolate as well. But spread it out. Yeah, that way you enjoy it more instead of just gobbling it up, every single day or every day. Let it be a treat for you, something you enjoy. I used to know somebody that would just eat chocolate all the time, and they said it helped them. It made them feel better. But they would buy bags of it and have it. This person had it on their nightstand and would just eat it, like snack on it, and like in the morning and probably throughout the night and all day. And I'm like, wow, I think your situation might need more than just chocolate. If you're relying on chocolate that much, yeah, go to a counselor, a therapist, a good one, a qualified one, a good one who knows what they're doing and can help you. And then, eat the dark chocolate sparingly. I think it's more enjoyable that way and probably more beneficial as well. Well, that's about it. I'm going to get back to work. I've been sitting here for a while, but I can make my own schedule, and I don't know, I think I said that at the beginning of the video, but that doesn't mean I can neglect my schedule or my obligations. But I'm just thoroughly enjoying it. It's kind of a loose day right now at work, because it's Thanksgiving week. Wow, there's an excuse that I used, right? But I do have to get back and get some more things done before I wrap it up for the afternoon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts on coffee. I'm sure many of you drink coffee because so many people do. So let me know your thoughts on coffee and what you know about coffee and what your favorite type of coffee is. That's it, guys.